because some of the if you didn't join the morning session, some of the things we might be saying here might be sounding somehow, and it might be boring to you. So please, after the class, please try to use YouTube to get all the class. I think we had 7:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's like so we started class from 7:30 to 11, or yes, to 11. So please find the YouTube and watch. So this is the part 2 of Agile project management. This is the part 2 of Agile project management. So I'm sharing the link for part 2, not for part 1. So should you by any means not find yourself in the class, please feel free to use the YouTube link to get the complete versions of whatever thing we are learning here today, right? Okay, now I think we can actually get done with whatever thing that is remaining here, maybe in 30 minutes or maximum 1 hour. Then we can go home and rest. But before we proceed, do I have any question? Is there any question of any kind that you would like us to address? Anybody joining us in the next 30 minutes could not make this class. So everybody should better get to be on board. Please, group leaders, inform your group that we have 30 minutes or less for this class. So we don't have all the time this evening. So please, all group leaders should send a message to their groups for this class. Okay, I also want to find out, is there anybody here that has not been grouped? You've not been grouped, can you please raise your hand? You don't have any group yet, can you just raise your hand? You've not been grouped, can you just raise your hand? You've not been grouped, you don't belong to any group, because by next week, we'll just be doing presentations. So we expect that everybody should have been grouped. Please, if there is anyone here that has not been grouped, can you just raise your hand so that we can group you now? I've not been grouped, can you raise your hand? I've not been grouped, can you raise your hand? Okay, I made payment, but it has not been verified. Please, can you type 22 in the chat room? I made payment, it has not been verified, or I made payment and I don't have materials. Please, can you type 22 in the chat room? I made payment, I've not been verified, or I made payment, I've not been. Okay, so Teoma Isibe. No, not 11. I need 22. 22 is that you've made payment, you've not been verified, or you made payment, you've not received material. So please kindly help me send a message to the WhatsApp number, to our WhatsApp line, so that all of those will be rectified today. 470-29035. Please, if you made payment, you've not been verified, or you made payment, you've not received manual, please kindly send the message with your evidence of payment to the WhatsApp line. The person in charge will respond to you. We are sorry for the delay. Sometimes the request could be so much that the person handling it may get overwhelmed. So please kindly bear with us. So is it only whichever payment you've made, if you've made any payment that has not been confirmed, please kindly send the update. Kindly send the update. So if you've made any payment and the payment has not been confirmed, please kindly send the receipt, then they'll verify it. Also, I said something in the morning. The head of admissions, Mr. Friday, might also be putting a call across to some of us before the exam to confirm anything that he's not too sure of. So please, when he calls, kindly respond to him so that they can prepare their exclusive report. Mr. Ojeni Paul Adekunle, has your data not been sent to you? That data has been sent a long time ago now. Please, Agile project management is only for lead project management. So if you want to get materials for Agile project management, then you have to upgrade to lead project management. Okay. Mr. Jenny Ipo, your number was the first number. Your number was the first number. Please kindly check. Or maybe you came, you did not notice. Even Anthony Duke is saying he has not received that. You not received that, and we keep saying it in the chat room. In fact, data has exhausted. Please note, data is for those that made payment on or before October 15th. That is the deadline. So if you made payment after October 15th, data is not for you. Data, the announcement is payment on or before October 15th. So if you made payment after October 15th, the data is not for you, please. Thank you for your cooperation. All right. So if your payment is before October 15th and you've not received your data, please let us know. If your payment is after October 15th, please, you were not within the scope of the promotion. Oh God. Engineer Duno, are you going to use the data to answer? Oh my God. As well. Hey. Okay, so can we proceed? Is there anything? Okay, so if you completed payment before October, on or before October 15th, and you've not received, please kindly send us a message. We'll attend to that. And also another challenge we are having, I don't know, some lines are not going through, so I don't know why. Especially Glow and Etisalat lines. Especially Glow and Etisalat lines. They are not going to, I don't know why. We cannot really say why that challenge is there. So if you're having a Glow line or a Etisalat line, we recommend you use something like Airtel or MTN. Although it doesn't mean that all Glow numbers are not going. There are some Glow people that their numbers went through, and there are some Etisalat. Etisalat have not even gone at all. We've not had any case of any Etisalat going, so we don't know why. Please, this is not where we are going to resolve data matter. I said if you made payment before October, just send your information to the, what they call it, to the WhatsApp line. Okay, that will be dealt with. But if your payment is after October 15, please don't send the request. That will not be considered, please. So Mr. Paul and Mr. Duke, kindly send the message to our WhatsApp line, please. And if you're using Mr. Ojeni, which line are you using? And Mr. Duke, which lines are you people using? Are you using you're using MTN? You've not received. Okay. Okay. Just send us a message with your most preferred line where you want the data to be sent to. Okay. Please send us a message with your most preferred line where you want the data to be sent to. That will be attended to, please. Sorry if there was an overlook on that matter. Okay. All right, I think we can proceed with the class right now. And there are other issues that will demand our attention. If everybody has received material, if there are payments for exam that has not been confirmed, those in the admission department, they are working on that, and within the week they will bring out the list of all the people they have in their record. If they publish the list and your name is not, they kindly send a message so that they will effect all the corrections on or before November 7th, please. Okay, they will send out the list by within the week. So as soon as I think there is a fund reconciliation they sent out, those in admission department and exams. I think there is a fund reconciliation they send out. Please check your email to be sure you fill that fund reconciliation for them. And then should they call you for whatsoever purpose, please kindly help them with information they need, please. All right. Now go to say, okay. So I think we can proceed, right? Okay, so someone confirmed that they sent it on Wednesday. Okay. So possibly by this week, Wednesday, they will be publishing all that they have. So if you made payment, like some people made payment today, if you made payment today, please, we'll also recommend that you go back and fill out the payment you made in the fund reconciliation form, or if there is a phone number they provided for fund reconciliation, you can just send your new payment to them so that they can reconcile it. Okay, it's important for us, both parties, to have good records. Okay, thank you so much for all of that. Oh, you know, I forgot that this class is already streaming live on YouTube, and I've been here talking about issues. All right, so let's proceed with this class. So in the first lecture section today, we spent 3 hours plus discussing what Agile project management is, looking at the Agile manifesto, looking at the foundational Agile values. We looked at the 12 supporting Agile principles. We looked at the role of leaders in Agile project management. We looked at the tips for managing diversity in Agile team. We looked at the importance of leadership in Agile. We looked at the Scrum methodology in Agile project management. We looked at not only Scrum, we look at Scrum, we look at Kanban, we look at Scrumban. Then we looked at extreme programming. We looked at lean development. We looked at test-driven methodology. We look at feature-driven methodology, test-driven development methodology, feature-driven development methodology. And then we looked at DSDM. Okay, so then we looked at the stages of Agile project management. And the next thing we're going to consider was the importance of accountability in an Agile team. The importance of accountability in an Agile team. All right. Now, but before we proceed, please bear me some minutes. I would like to be sure that someone that was here in the morning section understood something in the morning session. All right. So if you were here in the morning session and you understood something, just three persons only, just 3 persons, you learned something very, very impressive that is going to help your career, help your business, help your workplace. Please, can you just say it in 1 minute? You really learned something. Just raise your hand. We'll unmute you and you tell us what you learned. I mean, practically, something you can say, okay, I learned that I can actually do this right now. Okay. Okay, just 3 persons, please. Let's make it faster. Let's make it agile. 3 persons. 3 persons, please, I'm waiting. Three distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please, where are the Agile practitioners now? Tell us some Agile things you learned in the first session of today's class. All right, so we'll have the first hand up. Please, Truslin, kindly unmute and let's hear from you.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
All right. Just what I learned, and which as you were teaching in the morning, you were telling us to write some things down. So I was writing down how I use the Agile management projects in my office. So you talked about new value system. So I just wrote new value system for my office. We've been having, how would I call it, a kind of moribund operational system. In operations, I work in a microfinance bank. Operations is always the same, but I found out that it consumes time. Customers are not happy. Sometimes they don't get their debits and credit alerts as at when due. So they've been complaining. I've been hearing about it. So, and I've been thinking, what creative idea, what innovation can one bring to ease off these kind of pressures? So as we're talking, I was writing down things. I was writing down what I will do in the operations department about the tellers, the head of operations, the super admin, how I will split, let me put it that way, how I will split their workloads so that everybody, every staff will be able to be part of operations. What we do have is we have operation staff and we have other staff, but now I want everybody to be part of operations. So I've written some things down which will also help me so that there will be this interface with customers, and I want customers to be happy. It's always my desire to see customers when they come into the banking hall, they are attended to so quickly, and as they make their payments, they get their alerts, they get their debit alert, they get that, it makes work so easy. And
That's right.
I wrote down some things that I will do. And also the 4 values of Agile management projects. As we were talking, I was also writing down some things, and I think it's very good, especially that's number 4, which is responding to change over following a structured plan. So this will help me. So to be flexible, just to tell them we need to be flexible. Let's see, sometimes, not sometimes, most time, customers are the ones that carry the reputation of any organization. If your customers are not happy, then don't think, before you know it, over time, there's a survey I want to do on how you can use customers' feedback to improve the value of your products. So by the time I finish this survey, it will also help in the organization. So those are the things I actually learned, and I'm glad. That's why I was asking that I didn't get the Agile material, and you responded. I said, okay, no problem. I think I will get it. I like it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, Engineer Duno. Good evening, sir, and welcome to class. Please kindly unmute and let's hear from you, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everyone. In the morning, I learned a lot of things, basically relying on the 4 fundamental principles of Agile practice. With Agile project management, primary constraints such as time and cost can be continuously evaluated with the customer and the project team. With rapid feedback, continuous adaptations, there can derive a question and answer section and adapt a best practice built into team schedule and ensure that quality outputs are streamlined. A lot of benefits. I begin to look at what are the things that I can actually leverage on using the Agile methodology. It will increase focus on specific needs of customers, because we are having face-to-face interaction with customers. You can be able to understand their requirements and build that into the project. To a large extent, reduce wastage through minimizing resources, because you are adopting the Agile methodology, like the lean process, where you can actually begin to reduce wastage and create value from the waste. You increase flexibility, just like my colleague also said, we increase flexibility, enabling teams to be able to easily adapt to change, ensuring that everybody understands what we need to do and have their buy into the agile process. You have a better control of the project by adopting the agile methodology. The project manager is in charge, is on top of his game. He has a better control of the project because at this point now he's sitting with the customer, trying to know their feeling, their feedback on specific needs and requirements. Yeah, to some extent too, fast track projects turn around time because the customers, we are in tune with the customers, we are getting their feedback and we are building that feed to the project as we are moving on. The time of you will automatically reduce the time you spend in the rework or review the project all over again because you are not getting to the end of the project at the close of project do a review. What you are doing is you are reviewing as you are going on and the customers is getting feedback and telling you, no, you need to add this, you need to remove this. So at the end of the day, you are reducing the turnaround time. You also increasing frequency of collaborations and feedback between you and the customers, and also improve the development of the process. So these are many more that I think that I think I learned in the morning, and I feel that the other agile methodology to me is better than the traditional project management methodology.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. I think with the little they've said, we can proceed with the class. But I'm sure we were able to write some things down in the morning, especially having gone through the methodologies, about 7 of them or 8 of them, having gone through them, and also having looked at the foundational values, looked at the supporting principles of Agile project management. By now, we should be looking at our businesses critically using these approaches on advancing these courses. All right, thank you so much. So let's quickly start with the importance of accountability in an agile team. The importance of accountability in an agile team. The importance of accountability in an agile team. Now, when we go back to Project Management Book of Knowledge, in the role of project managers and the likes of them, you will see a place we talk about project governance. Project governance. In the same way, in Agile project management, we also have project governance. There is order in which things need to be done. Okay, and there are different human capacities needed for these things to be done. Now, the following are the various roles and responsibilities that are observed in an agile team. You have the linker, who coordinates and integrates. Then you have the creator, who initiates creative ideas. You have the promoter, champions the ideas they initiated. You have the assessor, offers insightful analysis of options. You have organizer, provides structure. You have producer, provides direction and follow through. You have controller, observe and enforces standards. Then you have maintainer, fights external battles with clients. Then you have advisor, encourages search for information. Now, when you have a team that you want to put up as agile team, you look at this. Basically, every one of us have our own natural dispositions, our own natural characteristics. So there are people that are naturally linkers, some are natural creators, some are natural promoters, and all of that. So in your team, more of what we should be doing is to harness these abilities in our team members and use them to turn our teams to agile teams. Okay, I've said this over and over again in most of my classes, especially HR classes, where I will tell people it's easy to get a sanguine to be an influencer. It's easy to get a sanguine to be a marketer. It's easy to get a sanguine to do more of the outdoor jobs than you will have to get a melancholy or a phlegmat to do such. Okay. So importantly, we must find out the values, the natural abilities around our staff, then find out who among them are the linkers. Now, if you find out that some of them have potency, all you need to do is to encourage them and train them to become what you want them to be in the Agile team. Okay. Sorry, I've clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry, I've clicked on the wrong thing. Just a moment, I actually clicked on the wrong thing. Okay. Now, accountability in an Agile team, the following are the various responsibilities. The first one we dealt with was the various roles and responsibilities that are observed in an Agile team. Now, these ones are the responsibilities that an Agile team has to fulfill as single cooperative unit. The responsibilities, the various responsibilities that an Agile team has to fulfill as a single cooperative unit. So an Agile team is seen as a single cooperative unit. Now, what are the various responsibilities that they need to fulfill as a single unit, as a family? One, creating and managing diversity. Two, turning individuals into team players. Very, very important. Three, quality management. Four, enhancing performance. Five, innovation. And six, motivate. So let's look at them one after the other. In creating and managing diversity, in the morning we looked at managing diversity, right? So as an accountable team or dealing with accountability in an Agile team, what does it mean to create and manage diversity? One, involve, that's actively seek inputs from a variety of backgrounds and culture of team members in order to develop a broad picture. Then another one is fearless environment. Develop an atmosphere which is safe for employees to ask for help. People should not be viewed as weak if they ask for help. Now, permit me to make a little digression. As a Nigerian, I believe one of the core problems that Nigeria has, yes, is leadership. But one of the core problems that leadership has is their inability to manage the diversity in Nigeria. So I have a whole lot of diversity issues. You have tribal, ethnic, religion, culture, and all of that. So if you look at the failure of leadership, is actually a failure which is emanating from our lack of the ability to manage diversity in Nigeria. I was writing an article the other day, which I've published some of it, and I said that diversity being a lack of our ability to manage diversity in Nigeria is actually a critical thing that needs to be considered. So if our leaders need to be trained on diversity, let us train them. If they need to have some kind of orientation about all the diversity in Nigeria. The truth is, there are quite a number of tribes in Nigeria that you and myself have not heard of. There are quite a lot of cultures, traditions, religion in Nigeria that you and myself have not heard of. I was reading a little history about the different diversities in Nigeria. I got to know that there are over 421 languages in Nigeria, 421 languages in Nigeria. And we only talk about Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So what happens to the rest of them? Okay, although they say they are not major, but our inability to manage the minorities is also a problem. We've not even been able to manage the majors that have been identified. Now, you look at the Nigerian environment too as diversity issue too. There had been ongoing bill on social media, like there should be regulation on social media. You're not the one that started social media and you want to regulate it. And someone rightly said, he said, you've not been able to manage your people and you want to manage social media. How do you want to do that? I doubt if social media can actually be so regulated in Nigeria. I doubt, because there are different apps you can use to change your IP and still find frequencies that are off the regulations that are being mentioned for you. Okay, so there are IP blockers, there are different IP apps that you can use to still do what you want to do. So I don't think the problem with information in Nigeria is social media. The problem is our inability to manage diversity. So we want to create an environment that is filled with fear. People can no longer voice out, all right? And that is a problem. That's to say, a case of Nigerian government, we don't have an agile team when it comes to governance. We don't have an agile team when it comes to governance. Okay, so we could also see some of the things that are happening around Nigerian leadership that are really heartbreaking. All of these, most of these things are just issues of diversity. If you look at them critically, they are issues of diversity. Okay, if you look at them critically, they're issues of diversity. And I will give you an example. Let's take, for instance, the House of Rep member in Lagos that said he was keeping the palliatives to share on his birthday. So the question is, like, is the palliative meant for your constituency, or was the palliative meant for your friends and relatives who were going to come for your birthday? And he said it so proudly that nobody had ever said anything about that. So if you look at it, it's still an issue of diversity, an issue of diversity bias in managing diversity, all right? And I've said this severally. Our leaders need to grow beyond tribal kind of leadership. We need to grow beyond religious kind of leadership. We need to grow beyond ethnic kind of leadership. We need to have a decentralized kind of leadership where diversity is well managed. I was watching the news the other day, and there is this young man from my village that is Minister of Justice in Canada. And I was wondering, he is a young man from my village, and he's Minister of Justice in Canada. And he said he has spent about 15 years in Canada. And so he was qualified to become minister. And they made him a minister of Justice for the state. Okay. In Nigeria, is a difficult thing. You barely have youth. That young man is quite young to become in Nigeria. He won't even smell councillor, much more of minister. But you see, advancing countries who understand the value of diversity, they take away all of those issues of cultural bias, religious bias, personal differences, and focus more on what? They focus more on harnessing the diversity so that the whole economy could grow and there could be fairness. Okay, Nigeria is not up to US. So how come that US economy is more than Nigeria? How come that with all the diversities, there is no part of the world that is not represented in US? So how come they don't have diversity issues? Somebody could talk about racism, but yes, if you compare racism, that's somebody in his land is fighting you that came to stay in his land, right? What of Nigeria that two people from the same nation are fighting themselves? So what will you call that? I think tribalism is actually more dangerous than racism, because tribalism deals with internal domains. Racism deals with international domains, right? So we need to have agile teams that create and manage diversity. And let me be very sincere with us. Even in most organizations in Nigeria, places I've been to, especially the places I've worked, we still have high levels of ignorance managing diversity. I've worked in a particular firm, and it's a multinational firm, but because the multinational firm was well dominated by a particular tribe, so they don't speak English, they don't speak any other language, they speak that particular language, and you expect every other person to speak that language. So anyone that doesn't understand the language gets lost. And some of the people that left that organization left because they don't want to feel like what people are saying is against them, or when they speak, their own native languages become an issue. So we have that a lot in companies around Nigeria, and that does not help. It only causes more troubles. So if we must manage diversity, then we must involve people, and we must create fearless environment where the voice of people are heard. Respect each other's viewpoint and include suggestions if they benefit the team. Include people who are different than you in informal meetings such as lunch and coffee breaks. Still on accountability, turning individuals to team players. The first one is selection. Make team skills one of the interpersonal skills in the hiring process of an agile team. Then training. Train employees to become better team players on various aspects such as technical, communication, and interpersonal skills. Reward and motivate. Rework the reward system to encourage cooperative efforts rather than individual. Continue to recognize individual contributions while emphasizing the importance of teamwork in an agile team. Quality management. An agile team must aim for total quality management by taking into consideration various aspects such as follows. Team size. Is the team small enough to be efficient and effective? Time. Is the team given or allocated enough time to perform tasks and accomplish the goals of the agile project? Authority. Is the team given enough authority to resolve problems and take corrective actions? Support. Does the team have a go-to person or champion to reach to in case they need guidance? Enhancing performance. Performance of each individual in an agile team can be enhanced by synergy. So this is because people working in group are able to produce greater output than would have produced if each person had worked separately. Team members should always work with each other or to maximize output. Innovation. Team leaders should empower the agile team and make it accountable for innovation process. Team members should uncover each other's flaws and balance each other's strengths and weaknesses. Now, I was reading some things on Twitter. I've forgotten the person that made, is it Dele Momodu that made that statement? He said the average age or the standard age to apply for voters card in Nigeria is 18 years. So he posted a question where he was where he named INEC, named the INEC chairman, named some of the top officials. And his question is, every day people turn 18 in Nigeria. So why is it that INEC cannot have a system that gives people voters card every day? Did you get that question? People turn 18 in Nigeria every day. So must we wait for 3 years before we start having voters card? Why not we have an INEC that gives people voters card every day? Just like the way driver's license is open to all, immigration service is open to all every day. So why can't we have an INEC system that gives voters card every day? And another question that I've been moving on is, why can't we digitalize the electioneering process, the voting process? Must I go and queue under the sun because I want to vote someone? Can't I vote from the comfort of my home? Okay, and these are some of the things that need to be innovated on. And as we start paying attention to these things, then it could be an indication that we are gradually turning to agile teams as a government. Okay, so team members should be creative and innovative in their approaches. So the next one there is to motivate. Another important responsibility of an agile team is to motivate its team members. Team leaders should provide needed social interaction and help employees cope with work-related stresses. They should reward and recognize high-value teams. Now, there is another question also I've been asking in recent times, and that question is, we actually refuted the first report that federal government spent 75 billion on palliatives. But with the things we've seen in recent time, is obvious that they could have spent such, right? So the question is, why didn't they follow up? What was the negative motivation that made the leaders, the governors, the ministers not to get the House of Rep, the senators? What was the motivation that made them not to give the palliatives to who they were meant for? Okay. So you could wonder what could become the reputation of these leaders afterwards. And why didn't government do a follow-up to ensure that these palliatives were given to the people? So these are some of the concerns that Agile project management can actually handle, or Agile teams can handle. Agile teams get to be very responsive. They get to easily evaluate and follow up with monitoring and making sure that everything is in order, all right? Okay, so quickly, let's look at Agile team values and ethics. An efficient team needs a firm set of values and ethics to achieve the Agile project goals. So the first values and ethics, there should be clear, elevating goals. There should be clear, elevating goals. A clear, elevating goal, this is a project goal which has been communicated to all. Then we should have a result-driven structure. The goal has been jointly decided by all the team members. They are fully committed towards achieving it. Then we also look at competent members. Osibanja said something the other day. He said Nigerian politics should move from looking at tribal politics and ethnic politics to looking at competent leaders. Okay? So we might not really know why he said that, but I'm sure the reason is obvious. Okay, the reason why he said that is obvious. So one of the Agile team values is competent leaders or competent members, right? Obviously, we can agree that in Nigeria, we don't have competent leaders. Yeah. If you have someone with SSCE leading a country of professors, can you actually say that we have competent leaders? Okay, we don't. We don't. Our electoral process, our constitutional provision for electoral process stipulates that even someone with primary Cs can go for leadership positions. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So if we keep having primary Cs, that means we will never have competent leaders. Nigeria will never advance. We'll keep moving backwards. While others are running towards a goal, we are busy running backwards. I have been reading this book, My Vision, by the Prince of Dubai. I will encourage everyone to read that book. The name of the guy is actually long, Maktoum something. All right. So if you can lay your hand on that book, it's actually a guide to national development. And I was shocked to hear that Dubai got to have their own sovereignty in 1970s. They got their sovereignty in 1970, either 1971 or 1973. And they've been able to move this fast compared to Nigeria that has been there since 1914. Okay. And instead of moving forward, we keep going back. And it's not just Nigeria, it's all through the African continent. I don't know what's happening with the African continent, especially West Africa. Okay, I don't really know what's happening with West Africa. Okay, then we have unified commitment. With the total commitment from team members, achieving Agile project goals becomes easier. We also have collaborative climate. We have standards of excellence. We have external support and recognition. We have principled leadership. We have active participation. We have team goals understood by all. We have innovative thinking. We have active listening and feedback. We have taking initiative, and we have trust and respect. We have risk-taking, and we have supportive values. We have effective communication, and we have realistic deadlines. So all of these are part of the values and ethics that are expected in an Agile team. So let's look at Agile team management. The following are a few tips for better management of an Agile team. One, think about your team first. Number two, never underestimate your team member. Number three, discuss with your team members always. Understand others, that's be emotionally intelligent. Then promote transparency, avoid criticism, avoid conflicts in your team, and then rewards and recognition. All right. What are the pitfalls to effective Agile team communication? The pitfalls could be hogging, that's talking too much, flogging, beating dead horse, like complaining a lot, frogging, jumping from one topic to another. Then we have bogging, getting stuck on the issue, dead buffaloes, tiptoeing around a contentious issue. Those things can affect the effective management or effective communication in Agile team management. And finally, what are the tips for effective communication in Agile team management? The tips: be clear and concise in your communication. Use visual means to facilitate discussion. Keep each discussion on track. Do not issue orders to any team members. Never warn or threaten any team members. Never respond with sarcasm. Do not preach to any team members. Do not assume, ask to understand. Never label or judge any of your team members. First understand and then be understood. All right, for the sake of time, I think we are going to stop. I'm going to stop the class here. And if there is going to